I'm questioning races.
Races.
Yes, what's the origin of races?
What is the origin of races? What is the origin of races? The origin of races is unknown. The origin of races is unknown. Specifically because you cannot tie it down to the lesser explanation of the Babel Tower. You can tie it down to Babel, but you shouldn't reduce the origin of something as complex as races to a simplistic explanation like that one given by the narrator in the origin, in the Tower of Babel. In fact, the Tower of Babel speaks, even in its simplicity, speaks of languages, not races. I hope we are now mature enough in anthropology and semantics and grammar to understand that languages and races are two different things. The Babel Tower explains languages, albeit poorly, but not race. Race is something deeper than languages, because you can speak several languages, but you can't be more than a race. If you want to know how complex race is, tell me what the race is of a half caste. If a child's mother is white and their dad is black, what race are they?
Mixed
They will tell you mixed race. Depending on where they are and how racist they are, they will most probably call them black. Thankfully, of all the issues the Bible addresses, the questions that the Bible addresses, it has never in any way responded to the question of origin of race. I therefore understand why it has never been explained. Because the Bible explained the questions that were at the time. And I wouldn't expect a Jewish nation who thought of themselves as a superior race to be questioning the origin of races. Abantu gye bakoma okulowooza nti bawagulu wabawo ebibuuzo bye batabuuza, because they take certain things for granted. Toyinza kubuuza the origin of races ng'olowooza guwa ku ntikko
ng'ofunamu.
kuba mu nsibuko ya races wayinza okubaawo enkyukakyuka gy'otojja kwagala. N'ofiirwa. You might question the origin of races and find out something you didn't want to find out. So if you assume to be at the top, you don't necessarily want to investigate the origin of races. I have never had whites question the origin of races, and I can understand, because they consider themselves the superior race. What they normally do is go to research to prove that their race is superior to ours. I have had a lot of laser research intimating that they have found out through genetic research that even genetically, whites are constructed to be superior to blacks. Very laser research. The Bible does not respond to the question, the origin of races. Particularly, I think, because what is the objective of the answer? what if we get to know the origin of races? Then what? What will it change? Let me tell you, there are some questions that have bias written all over them. If you find out that the origin of races is black people, do you know what that might do in twisting your thinking? I'm being honest. A thinking you'd rather not have. But let me try to logically explain the origin of races. I think the origin of races is God. Because it is easy to see from the book of Genesis that from the very beginning, difference is part of design. God began deliberately from creation to design that difference was part of a perfect world prior the fall, where leopards were cats but not pumas or tigers, and lions not dogs, although they all are from the canine family. It was part of God's original design that Semutundu and a mamba, whereas both don't have scales, are not one and the same thing as ensons. It was God's original design that whereas they are both eyes, the left eye, if you lost it, cannot be transplanted and placed on the right. And a vein can never replace an artery, whereas both are conduits of blood. Ekigere kya kkono ng'okifiiriddwa tebasobola kissa ku ddyo. It is deliberate from creation that difference is so much a part of perfection. For movement of a perfect world, there must be difference. That's why fallen angels are not God, although they are all not fallen. So it is a misunderstanding of perfection that is original to think that being black and being white, whereas all human, we must find who is higher than another. Kati bannange bwe tumala ekyo tubuuze ku kigere ekya ddyo n'ekya kkono kiriwo ekisinga obukulu. Let's get into another interesting discussion of the left hand and the right hand. Which one is superior to the other? Since our discussion is discovering superiority wherever there is difference.
Then we shall come to father and mother.
Ndozolaji mugenda mumaliriza. Omukazi ayinza kubanga kagamba yaleera kyenkana wansi wa musajja kubanga omuye mutwe. No, difference is part of perfection. We shouldn't get involved in the discussion of discussing superiority and inferiority wherever there is difference. Kale katubuuze. Motherboard ne RAM kyekisinga obukulu mu computer. Bwate bifaanagana nti kati buli wabeera ebintu ebyenjawulo katuzuuleko ekisinga obukulu. Projector ne laptop kyekisinga obukulu. No, They must be different to function together. God designed that we should be different to appreciate creation. That's why a mutuba tree cannot be mvule. Neither can it be mzambia. They were all created to be different, and it is okay. Muve mono sakasi wababbi. Omayika kati seba kuna ulo mahogane. Mono mahogane sebe la tujja kulinyisaamu ku bbeeyi.
Nenga kubuza papai.
That is the fallen nature where we start to find out what is better than the other. Nichi bagamba nti mahogane asingako omulala. Bagamba omuti mugumu. Ngenda omuti gwonna gukaziza bulungi nnyo n'ogutreatinga can last for as long as you want. The Americans use timber to build houses that last 60 years and they don't have mahogany. Tibaina mivule. Bakozesa pine ne bazimba ennyumba ne zibeerawo emyaka 15. Wood. Kati gombuli ya mahogany bwali omugumu. Pine eri awagala emyaka 23. Let me tell you, God is the origin of difference. And it is part of design. Kyofulaba ne bwe tugenda mu ggulu nga wavuddewo ekibi, tewali resi egenda kukyuka. Bw'olaba nga muzungu era tujja kutuuka mu ggulu omulabe nga muzungu. There is no problem with that. The problem is with you, not God. Tesina buzibu n'abazungu. Weewaawo bakadde wa si bulungi ekyo kibi.